selepas tahun 2021. Seperti saya sebut tadi, temanya Keluarga Malaysia Makmur Bersama. Kerajaan mengambil pendekatan reformis, bertanggungjawab, responsif, bertanggungjawab dan juga reformis dalam memenuhi keperluan rakyat, perniagaan serta memacu pertumbuhan sosioekonomi yang mampan. Bajet 2023 seperti yang kita umumkan tadi memberi fokus kepada empat teras utama, iaitu rakyat, perniagaan, ekonomi dan juga kerajaan. Dengan pendekatan responsif, bertanggungjawab dan reformis, bajet 2023 pertamanya akan memperkukuh momentum pemulihan ekonomi, kedua memperkukuh daya tahan ekonomi, dan ketiga melaksanakan pembaharuan menyeluruh. So that is the responsive, responsible and reformist. Bajet ini pada pandangan saya adalah bajet dari keluarga Malaysia kepada keluarga Malaysia. Ini telah mengambil kira pandangan segenap lapisan pemegang taruh. Kita ada berkurang lebih 200 sesi libat urus bersama kerajaan negeri, kementerian dan juga sektor berkepentingan. Lebih 250 memorandum yang kita terima dan 12,000 cadangan daripada masyarakat. Pembaruan ekonomi yang ditekankan dalam bajet 2023 menyasarkan semua rakyat Malaysia mendapat impak dan manfaat yang lebih besar lagi melalui peluang pekerjaan dan pendapatan yang lebih baik. So that is the main message atau message utama untuk bajet. Jadi saya buka kepada soalan. Yep.
Even the speculation on dissolution of parliament does not die down. So what if the budget table for second reading and then the entire process cannot be finished and call for election? What will happen then? Will it defeat the purpose of the entire preparation, and will you have to, or the next finance minister have to table again?
Yep. So if you, basically that question should be posed to the Prime Minister. But in terms of what will happen is that, let me just make sure that it's quite clear so that you all understand the process, right? Because this has happened before in the year 1999. So if you refer back to what happened in 1999, budget was presented, there was a dissolution in the 1999, then the budget was then presented again. So that was what will happen if there is a dissolution. But again, that question should be posed to the Prime Minister.
But will it defeat the purpose of entire preparation?
No. So the budget, no, of course not. If you look at the budget is focusing on also what's our future direction of the country, right? Dia ada tinjauan ekonomi ataupun di economic report talks about what we are today, where we are going to be in our terms of our GDP. Seperti yang disebut tadi, KDNK kita tahun ini kita dah umum that we have a new number which is between 6.5% and 7% GDP growth. Yes, and we also have our target deficit which was 6% sebelum ini. Now our deficit is expected to be 5.8%. And next year our target deficit is 5.5%. So if you look at the book, there's a tinjauan ekonomi, there is also anggaran perbelanjaan, and we also talk about what is the plan for next year. So there is obviously no basis of what you said just now lah. Any question? Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Emolument will always go up every year, because of the inflation. In fact, emolument and pension also will go up. Emolument usually go up this year, and together with pension is about 1.5 billion ringgit. So that is every year as you revise the salary, dan juga lagi ramai yang pension memanglah akan naik every year. As long as our revenue move faster than costs, and we should be able to sustain lah. Yes.
Yeah. There's going to be a subsidy cut. There's going to be a subsidy cut, right? From almost 80 to 55. So can you tell me how you intend to rationalize that? How you will target it? Detail?
Yep. So yes, we have This year we are estimating subsidy to be around 77.7 billion ringgit, and as you heard from the budget just now, there will be a expected reduction. There was an estimate given in the budget. There are many reasons for that estimate. Firstly, as you mentioned just now, we may, in the long run, to make it sustainable, it has to be more targeted in its approach, right? But again, we have to look at what will happen in the economy next year. As you know, the fuel prices have gone down. Petrol prices have been globally, as expected, given the slowdown in the global economy. So the energy prices is moderating. So the amount of subsidy also will expect to be lower, all right, as energy prices go lower. So it's a function of both. Because when we first started the subsidy, oil price was around $120. Today, it's below $90.
Allocated 97 billion. Why?
Sorry,
90
no voice.
Oh, you need a drink.
Yeah, no, that's
You
okay.
need a drink.
Go continue,
you know-
Lisa.
Allocated 97 billion in terms of development expenditure. And
Not 97, 95.
95? Okay. So it's really high. So Alan's saying that, can you give us a little bit, what are these outline projects that you have in mind?
As announced in the budget, there are many major development that we have announced in the budget. One of it is the completion of Pan Borneo Highway, and for Sabah and Sarawak will continue. There's also MRT3, and then there's also the Tebatan Banjir, right? That's we should announce around 15 billion ringgit. So there are many RTS. So those are many major government initiatives in terms of infrastructure that will result in the increase in development expenditure for next year. Because most of the project kickstarts next year.
Hi, Dato'.
You can, but not
Joseph
now.
from South China Morning Post here. We noticed that the budget mentions a reduction in projected reduction in revenue by 4.4% next year, but we're also looking at a fair number of tax cuts coming in. Well, how do you figure that will kind of balance out in your budget? And the more interesting question is, are you paving the way for GST?
No, we didn't announce any GST in the budget. So GST will be, again, we will be discussing that in cabinet, and depending on the economy next year. So for this year, we are not discussing it for this budget. However, as you said just now, when we look at our revenue this year, it will have a positive correlation to economy. So next year, we're expecting economy to moderate globally, and Malaysia will be impacted. But of course, this year, the revenue will also helped by a major dividend payment by Petronas. So Petronas dividend in the budget for this year is 50 billion ringgit. So next year, we have not assumed the same. So that's why also there's less revenue. And in terms of tax cut, the tax cut, yes, there will be some impact, but the amount of money that is being freed to the economy is expected to give the multiplier impact, especially the tax cut for the M40.
Time for two more questions.
One more.
Dato' here. Could you please outline the specific figure on the Bantuan Keluarga Malaysia? Each child get how much?
Okay, the table I'll give you later because it's in my iPad. Never mind, later I'll give you the table later. That one, we have the infographics for that, right? Because it's quite easier with the table. Next, last question.
Okay, Tengku, nanti sikit berkenaan dengan ekonomi dunia. Tengku.
Berkenaan ekonomi dunia. Okay, sorry.
Sebab dilaporkan ekonomi dunia akan berlaku kemelesetan pada tahun hadapan 2023. Jadi adakah dengan bajet 2023 ni akan mampu untuk kita hadapi, atasi segala sangkaan ataupun kemelut yang mungkin akan berlaku, kemelut dunia dan sebagainya, Tengku?
Ya. Yep, ekonomi global memang tahun depan agak mencabar berbanding dengan tahun ini. IMF dan World Bank juga telah menurunkan forecast mereka ataupun jangkaan mereka pada tahun 2023. In fact, the focus the GDP growth atau pertumbuhan KDNK dijangka masih lagi positif di antara 2 hingga 3%. Ya. Dan Malaysia juga akan terkesan sedikit kerana tahun ini jangkaan kita ialah 6.5 hingga 7%, tapi tahun depan ialah 4 hingga 5%. Itu bajet yang kita umumkan hari ini agak beri fokus kepada isu-isu yang dapat menangani kelembapan ekonomi global pada tahun depan.
Datuk Seri.
Okay.
Datuk Seri.
Okay, last question.
Untuk Sarawak, nampak bajet tahun ni nampak lebih sikit daripada yang selalu. So boleh urai balik?
Okey, memang untuk Sabah dan Sarawak tahun ini kita lebih banyak fokus kepada Sabah dan Sarawak kerana kita rasa terutamanya di dalam sekolah-sekolah daif dan juga hospital dan klinik-klinik yang usang, ya, di sini kita buat peruntukan yang lebih. Tapi amount yang besar juga adalah oleh kerana Pan Borneo, Sabah dan Sarawak yang kita sambung, yang kita nak cepatkan. Ya. Tahun ini insya-Allah habis Sarawak dan Sabah pada tahun 2024. Dan begitu juga banyak pembangunan infrastruktur yang lain yang kita beri fokus juga kepada Sabah dan Sarawak di dalam bajet ini. So terima kasih semua. Thank you.